you. Good morning, everybody. This morning, I would like us to turn to Galatians chapter 5, verses 22 and 23. Now, we all know what that is, but let's just read it again. But the fruit of the Spirit is love, joy, peace, long-suffering, gentleness, goodness, faith, meekness, temperance. Against such there is no law. Okay, so I'm going to look at each of these from the reverse, that is from temperance and onto love. Now, temperance means to be in control of your own behavior. Okay, so this means that we have to be in control of our own behavior. We need to be steady, no matter how good or bad the situation is. And when we see the life of Jesus, we see that he was a very temperate person. Next is meekness. Meekness means to be quiet, gentle, and not willing to argue or express your opinions in a forceful way. Now, Jesus never got into or started off any arguments. In fact, when the Jews, the scribes and the Pharisees came up to him in a provocative manner, asking him questions, he just answered them in a very meek way and dissolved the situation that was trying to come up. Now, to paraphrase faith, it is a strong belief in someone or something that maybe can't be seen at present, but believe will come to pass in the future. Now, without faith, it is impossible to please God. And God said of Jesus, "This is my beloved Son in whom I am well pleased." Yes. So we see Jesus was a man of faith. Goodness means to be good, which also means possessing or displaying moral virtue. Now, Jesus was a good man, and his goodness drew people to him. There was safety in that. Gentleness means to be kind. Jesus was kind. For example, when that incident happened when the scribes and Pharisees brought that woman who was caught in adultery, yeah, Jesus did not tell her anything in the beginning. He instead dealt with with those Jews who had brought her. Yes, and then after that, he asked her if anybody said anything, and he just told her, "Neither do I condemn you. Go and sin no more." There's gentleness coming out from Jesus there. Next is long suffering. It means to be patient in spite of having troubles or hardship. Jesus was long suffering. Now, his disciples constantly lived in fear. One doubted. The scribes and Pharisees were all the time trying to get him into trouble. Yeah, his good works were all the time being criticized. But Jesus was patient. And that, if I may say, for his time, that was a stressful environment. Yes. Peace. Peace is restfulness, freedom from disturbance. Jesus was so peaceful that even when he was angry, he did not sin. Yes, we remember the time at the temple. Yeah, he did not sin. He got angry, yes, but he did not sin. That was his peace overpowering him. And so he says, "My peace I give to you." Now, joy means to be happy. In John 15:11, Jesus says, "These things have I spoken unto you, that my joy might remain in you, and that your joy may be full." Yes, so he had to be a source of joy, or he had to have joy to be able to give it forward. And lastly, love. Now, we all know what love is. Yes, and the love that we're talking about over here. Now, in Matthew 22, verses 37 to 40, it says, "Thou shalt love the Lord thy God with all thy heart, and with all thy soul, and with all thy mind. This is the first and great commandment. And the second is like unto it, thou shalt love thy neighbor as thyself. On these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. And we know that Jesus loved. Yes, he gave his life. Yes, that had to be only out of love. It couldn't have been without love. Now, love enables us to perfectly follow all the remaining commandments and instructions given in the word. Because we just read, on these two commandments hang all the law and the prophets. Yeah. And so we know, excuse me, and see that Jesus was full of the Holy Spirit and bear its fruit. Yes. Now, for a moment, let us try and imagine Jesus doing all these wonderful miracles, teaching and expounding on the deep spiritual truths, correcting, and everything that he did, and not bearing the fruit of the Holy Spirit. It's hard, right? It's hard to imagine. In fact, impossible to imagine Jesus this way. Now, Jesus' works, which are seen on the outside, and his spirit-filled life are inseparable. Okay? And if we are called to be and live in the image of Christ, our works and our spirit strengthened inner man have to be inseparable as well. Yes, we cannot have one life on the inside, what we're thinking, the thoughts of our heart and mind be separate from our actions. It has to overflow from the inside out. Okay, that is what will make all our works fruitful, pure, blameless, and holy. Okay, and to sum up the whole thing that I've just spoken, I want to quote 2 Corinthians chapter 3, verses 2 and 3. So you can read that, and God bless you.